One is me, John Arroyo, back again with another episode of Neurodiverse Vastly Assessed. And boy, we have the TNA special, TNA Emergence. I am so hyped. It's a lot of matches that could change TNA's story or TNA's storylines for the rest of the year. And I'm going to break down why. Also, anything can happen because if you saw Slammiversary, we've got a lot of surprises, a lot of OMG moments, so anything is possible. So let's get right into my predictions. So the first match is Ryan Memphis versus Hometown Man. I feel like Hometown Man is going to win just so we could get a nice, happy opening. I feel like it would be a great way to open the show, kind of warm up the crowd before. They will both put on a good show. But because Nick Memeth is banned from ringside, it's more likely that Hometown Man will get the win. That will maybe lead into the Memeth versus Hometown Man and someone else later in the year. Then we get Mike Satana versus Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan lately has been thinking about retiring. He's maybe near the end of his career, so this is maybe like his retirement tour, and him and Santana is going to put on a killer show. If you ever saw any of Sami Callihan matches, they're really good. I feel like they're going to put on a killer show. Callihan could win to establish before he retires, hey, I want to go after the title one more time, or Santana beats him and it's an emotional you still got it. Sami Callihan puts out a good fight and he can still fight with the new wrestlers of today. And then we get a TNA Knockouts blowout for the World Tag Team titles for the Knockouts. So we have the Elegance brand, Heather and Maggie versus Fatal Influences, JC Jane and Jasmine Nix versus the Inspirations, Casey Lee. And we have Laylee Lee and Zaya Brookside. And all these women deserve championships. They're all so good. But I feel like it can go to two teams, and this is why. I feel like it could go to Lee and Brookside to establish them as a tag team, because they've been doing a lot of tags on, if you ever watched TNA Explosion or just TNA, they've been kind of building them up as a tag team to establish them as a tag team for the Knockouts tag team division. Or we're going to see Fatal Influence walk out with all the gold, and I can see mostly that happening. So they could swerve us with Lee and Brookside, but my pick is Fatal Influence, because just imagine JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon holding all the gold, going to TNA and NXT back and forth with all the gold, establishing them as the top heel faction of both divisions. And then we get the men's chaos of a match. Okay, we get a no DQ match, no countout match for the TNA Intercontinental Championship. And it's going to be gruesome. We have Steve Maclin, a.k.a. Mr. Hardcore of TNA versus Jake Something, the Absolute Beast. It's going to be a killer match, chaotic. I feel like we're going to get a lot of back and forths. And these men are going to beat the hell out of each other. But I feel like Steve Maclin is going to steal the win, just because he's really doing good with the Intercontinental Championship. And I feel like they're going to push him to the main TNA title soon. So I feel like to establish Maclin, they're going to want to have him hold the title until the end of this year, maybe leading into 2026 summer. So I think Maclin is going to hold the title just a little longer. But Jake Something is going to prove that he is worth watching. And then we get the men's tag team titles. So we have the Hardys versus Rascalz for the TNA World Tag Team Championship match. It could go either way, because the Hardys are supposed to face the Dudleys at Bound for Glory, so we can see the Hardys retaining, or we can see the Rascalz winning and making it a triple threat. Most likely, I would love if the Rascalz win and we make it a triple threat, and maybe we add one more team so we get the present, future, and past in a tag team match for TNA. For the Hardys' last match, I think it would be cool. But most likely, I feel like the Hardys will win. If the Rascalz win, it could lead into a multi-man TLC match or something for the Hardys' last match, and I cannot wait. And then we get the X Division match. And boy, these two men are on fire. So we have my boy Leon Slater, the youngest X Division champion, in my top 10 picks for future stars of pro wrestling in the industry. I'm going to make the video later, but Leon Slater is high on my list. If you see his matches, Leon Slater is an absolute beast. He's only 20 and he's doing incredible spots. He's one of the best high flyers for his age. He's pretty much he's the best, I think, flyer, the best high flyer in our generation versus Cedric Alexander, the GOAT the underrated GOAT, because Cedric is so good and he's finally getting the spotlight, going on the indies and actually performing at different promotions. And I'm happy that he's in TNA. They're both going to put on a killer show. I feel like this could be another match of the year contender for TNA, Cedric and Leon. But I'm going to say it, my boy Leon's going to pick up the win to show that his title reign ain't going to be no quick win. You're going to need to beat Leon at his best to take him out. And then we get the main event. Trick Williams versus Moose. And boy, is this going to be fun. But I think Trick is going to win again because he's going to cheat. Trick is going to cheat. Moose is going to get mad. So then next week on NXT in Philly, Moose is going to cost Trick the match for his Heatwave match. And then most likely Heatwave, Javon and Oba is going to fight. Trick is going to interfere. And then Moose is going to interfere. So then at the next premium live event or TNA event or show, we're going to get a Fatal 4-Way match. I think this is going to be a leading up to that main Fatal 4-Way match where all four men fighting for both titles and pretty much like continuing like who has the dominant power over both brands. So that's pretty much my predictions. Pretty much anything can happen because sometimes TNA can announce a match last minute. I'm not surprised if we get something during the pre-show. But I feel like we're going to get maybe some surprises or OMG moments because TNA lately has been cooking. So I cannot wait. And boy, is this weekend crazy. We have TNA Emergence. We have Triple Mania. And then next week, we have Heatwave. And then the week after that, we have Clash Appearance. We have so much wrestling going on, guys. We're eating good. And I cannot wait. This Friday, I'm going to be tuning into Emergence. You know me, I'm going to have my snacks, a nice good beverage, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to soak it in. Because, guys, TNA is so good, and I cannot wait for them to steal the show again. So I'll see you guys next time.